Viewers, amid the ongoing debate over the revision of the NCERT textbooks, Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has given his endorsement for the exercise. While the NCERT claimed the changes were made in order to comply with the National Education Policy 2020, Pawan Kalyan also made it clear that he believes it's important for the younger generations to be taught about the legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and the Vijayanagar dynasty as well. Pawan Kalyan went on to say that Mughal rulers like Akbar and Babur, who were glorified in textbooks in the past, it was Chhatrapati Shivaji who came to the rescue of Tamil Nadu temples. He further says that no schools taught how temples were burnt and women were enslaved during the Mughal regime, and says that some dynasties were not given their due in the earlier textbooks.
Do you think NCERT books that are now revisiting the Mughal period, also Akbar the Great is no longer Akbar the Great, and the grey, the shades of grey of these characters is being brought out, which is the reality the present government says. Do you agree with that?
When we were studying in school, the Mughals were definitely glorified than rest of the dynasties. Hardly we know about Rana Pratap is a short few one paragraph. For any dynasties, Chalukyas or Vijayanagar kings is hardly half a page. So when we read about Prithviraj Singh Chauhan, or we talk about Rana Pratap, we talk about Roshnara, we talk about Vijayanagar kingdom, and we used to have an entire different perspective. And how come we says what we are seeing of the school, how come we are not, is not available in our syllabus?
The News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's introduce our panelists. Two in Sena's BJP national spokesperson with us is Boli Sethi Satyanarayana, who's a Jana Sena General Secretary. With us is Advocate Umar Junaidi, political analyst. Nikhil Jain continues with us from panel number 1. Let's come across to you first. Umar Junaidi, is there something wrong in what is being stated by Pawan Kalyan? He says that the role of the Mughals has been glorified a lot. But what about others like Chhatrapati Shivaji? What about others like the Vijayanagar dynasty? You hail from Karnataka. And it is a fact that their role has not been projected enough as far as what is taught in our school textbooks is concerned. Do you agree with him? Umar Junaidi.
Madhav, first of all, the very point what I would like to say is, if there is a release of any movie, all these people, talk about the Mughals and the glorification of Mughals. If the point is there is the glorification of Mughals and the local leaders or the local kings of several dynasties were left behind, so why not make their spaces in the NCERT? Is it necessary to make somebody down to make somebody up? It's never possible, Madhav. If you are really wanting to have the history to be written in very fair language, and if you want the dynasties to be on the page, you have your choice. You can do it. It is not necessary to put somebody down. So whatever it was done, it was their work which has been put it in the textbooks. Everything what they have done is in the textbooks. If it is not glorified, if you feel it is not...
No, there are episodes where the complete truth of an individual has perhaps not been represented, is one of the concerns that's been expressed. I'm coming to that point of the debate, but I want Mr. Satyanarayan to comment on this. Mr. Satyanarayan, is it necessary to bring one set of rulers down to glorify others? If others need their space, certainly provide them that space within the textbooks. And let's not try and pull any one side down, is the argument of Umar Junaidi. Do you agree with him?
Yeah, I fully agree with him. One side is down because they've glorified the Muslim rulers, invaders, and less glorified or just ignored the Indian rulers.
No, not Muslim leaders.
No cross-talks. No cross-talks. Just let me complete and then you please. I would like
let him make his point. Okay. Yeah.
Listener. So what has actually happened was, if you talk about the 800 years of Islamic rule, the Alauddin Khilji demolished temples and harsh policies. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, 1351 to 1388, forced conversions and destroyed the temples. Aurangzeb, 49 years of his rule, destroyed temples, imposed jizya tax, and religious persecution. And Sikandar Lodi, 28 years, destroyed temples and other things. And Shah Jahan is also known for Taj Mahal and glorified for us, but actually there is a dispute on that. But jizya tax was also there during Shah Jahan period. So actually Mughals have been glorified while they destroyed the temples and forceful conversions are imposed. They destroyed. And another thing, important thing during Aurangzeb time is he banned Holi, he banned Diwali, and any Indian functions have been banned. See, people of this country should know, youth of this country should know the history. That's what it is. What Mr. Pawan Kalyan has not wanted to change the history. He wanted to...
Nikhil Jain, respond to that. The point being made over here is that if there were discriminatory practices such as jizya, where people are not being allowed to celebrate certain festivals, all of that should also be part of textbooks, should it not? Answer the question.
Absolutely. Madhav, first of all, let me tell your viewers that I studied in a CBSE school. I read history from history, NCERT textbooks, and I studied till class 10th, right? And what I was taught about the Indus Valley Civilization, Harappan Civilization, Gupta Empire, Maurya Empire, Prithviraj Chauhan, Mughal Empire, Maharana Pratap, Maratha Empire, the company rule, the British rule, independent India, Sikh Empire, and the Vijayanagar Empire. Now, when you're teaching school students, middle school students, history of a subcontinent as large as ours, as diverse as ours, a history of over 2,500 years, you can't expect to go into the level of details and nuances as what were the independent policies of each of the rulers. What you're taught is a basic cursory view of things. So far as desecration of temples is concerned, let me tell you, every single major empire, whether it was a Hindu empire, a Buddhist empire, or an Islamic empire, was involved in of places of worship, but that was a political thing and not a religious thing, as the BJP would like to tell.
Nikhil Jain, were you taught about the Mughals or not?
On this panel itself,
were you taught about the Mughals, yes or no? Because you very conveniently left them out.
My dear friend does not.
Nikhil Jain, answer my question. Were you taught about Mughal rulers, yes or no?
Yes, I was.
What was that? Which rulers were you taught about?
They were not glorified.
They were not glorified.
I remember reading Jahangir as a very glorified character, or Aurangzeb as a glorified character, or Daras. I don't remember reading these people as glorified characters.
What would you? What was Akbar called? What was Akbar called in your school textbooks?
It did not glorify or vilify anybody.
What was Akbar called in your school textbooks?
There are 3 rulers who are. It's called. Akbar is called for the extent of his political conquest, as is also Ashoka. Did Ashoka not...
only his political conquest.
Did Ashoka not desecrate temples?
No. He's only called for his political conquest.
One of the most important emperors in...
He is not called as somebody who is very secular, somebody who abolished jizya, who abolished deen ilahi. All these things are not taught.
Madhav, let's not forget that Akbar was an emperor under whose suzerainty and in whose court pretty much most of the ministers were Hindu rulers of India, are Hindu native rulers.
Correct.
And one of their descendants happens to be the Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan now from the BJP.
I'm glad that slowly you are remembering certain aspects. I'm glad that you're certainly remembering aspects. Let me also remind you of what is. One second, Nikhil Jain. I'm glad you have brought out those aspects of Akbar, and these are what are normally talked about. But what is often missed is that there are over 30,000 civilians who have been put to the sword. And the question, and that's very well recorded as far as several texts are concerned. If the NCERT texts are talking about that track record of Akbar, is that factually wrong? Simple question to you.
Did rulers not do the same thing? Did our native Hindu rulers not do the same thing?
So record it. And to this extent,
our native Hindu rulers did the same things.
Bring us the facts. Give us the facts.
That is how
give us the facts. How many rulers? Which ruler killed how many people?
Didn't matter you were Hindu.
30,000. 30,000. Massacre of 30,000.
Madhav, history is not a joke. Let's not try to use history.
No one's cracking any jokes. I'm asking serious questions.
The masses of today. You're asking serious questions, and please ask serious questions.
Yeah, so tell us, which are the Hindu rulers who have killed as many Hindus?
The title given by Aurangzeb. No, please ask her the question, why does a family still use the title of Savai given by Aurangzeb? If Aurangzeb was such a big butcher for this country, why is her family still using the title of Savai given by Aurangzeb? Why did her family serve in the court of Aurangzeb and in the court of Akbar?
That doesn't absolve anything, sir, of any crimes they have committed, Nikhil Jain. What are you saying?
Me questions. You can't ask questions to power.
No, ask them. You have every right to ask questions to twins of the BJP here. Right now, please answer the question that I am specifically asking you. The point is that this track record also of intolerance has to be maintained. If somebody has been projected as a great tolerant king, then this also has to come in. Twins, respond to Nikhil.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Good evening, everybody. Once again, the Congress representative has proved, his hypocritical mindset. Their heart only bleeds for present-day Palestine, where 20,000 people have lost their lives. But there are numerous instances across history where more than 20,000 people, 30,000 people have died, have been killed and butchered in one single conquest. That includes, Tipu Sultan's conquest of Melukot on the eve of Diwali, where people worshipping the nursing god were butchered and please don't barge in between. Madhav, this behavior cannot be tolerated.
Okay, let him make his point, Nikhil. He's not yet spoken. Yeah.
20,000 people were butchered in Melukot on the eve of Diwali, and till date, their descendants have not been celebrating Diwali. When it comes to Babar, let me just quote from Babarnama. Let me just quote what Babar has said about himself in Babarnama. For the sake of Islam, I became a wanderer. I battled infidels and Hindus, determined to become a martyr. But thanks be to Allah, I became a Ghazi, the killer of non-Muslims. These are the people who will not go by confessions of Babar in Babarnama, but they will distribute certificates to these butchers, these plunderers, and call them, great kings. So I think it is about time history is course corrected, and that time is now. It's better late than never. That many of these wounds which the descendants who have suffered at the hands of these butchers still carry can only find closure if we make a conclusive course correction in history books now and call a spade a spade.
Right. I don't have the time to read out the entire text, but Nikhil Jain, remember this, and I'm just reading out and paraphrasing here, that Akbar celebrated the Chittoor victory as a triumph of Islam over infidels. There are quotes and there are details of it. I don't have the time to go in. The simple point being made over here is that if there are such episodes, why do we glorify such individuals?
Hindu rulers supporting Akbar then? Do you remember who fought in that conquest? It was the Maharaja of Jaipur, the descendant of Diya Kumari.
The
He was
descendant
the
of
one
Diya
who made
Kumari.
that conquest possible. He was the
descendant
one who
or the
fought
ancestor?
Maharana Pratap. Akbar never even actually fought Maharana Pratap.
So what does that have to do with my argument? The simple question is that he is referring to the Chittoor victory as a triumph of Islam over infidels. If he is such a liberal secular leader, why is he talking about jihad?
That victory? Who caused that victory? The Raja of Jaipur.
Whoever caused the victory is immaterial here, sir. I am talking about the kind of language and thought process here. Nikhil Jain, why are you not? Why is it so difficult to come to terms when there are terms such as jihad that are being used by Mr. Akbar over here? If he is called Akbar the Great and glorified, the simple point is this, that other leaders also deserve a space, number one. And number two, why should this not be taught in schools?
Those were different times. Why are you... No, just answer me this. Just let Tuhin answer this. Why does Diya Kumari's family still use the title given to them by Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb was so bad, agreed. Aurangzeb desecrated temples, agreed. Aurangzeb butchered Hindus, agreed. Why are you still using the title given by Aurangzeb?
Let me.
Why do you still call yourself
Twin.
The Congress will try its best to obfuscate the issue. There is a difference between somebody leading a military conflict and the genocide taking place in another location. There is a very clear difference, and let Congress not obfuscate this very sensitive issue. And the rest of it can be answered by Diya Kumari. But this is the whataboutery, this is the obfuscation which Congress has throughout indulged in to glorify marauders, to glorify butchers. And I think this mindset needs to be put an end to.
It's a mindset of glorifying marauders. Umar Junaidi, you want to respond to that?
Madhav, I totally don't understand why these people, do these debates and say he was glorified, that ruler was glorified. It is a point wherein if you want your dynasty, your rulers to be on the screen, make them on the screen. That's it. You need not go the history and say whatever. Every ruler, every dynasty has done the Muslim leaders were found between.
No, I'm just quoting out what Akbar has said, and this has been recorded. He says, "We, as far as it is within our power, remain busy in jihad. We've succeeded in occupying number of forts and towns belong to infidels, has established Islam there." This statement has been quoted repeatedly.
Can I?
Now, I want Umar to respond to this point. This is where Akbar has been quoted. And this is where there are historians who are saying that perhaps this side of his aspect or his thought process should also be made public. What's wrong with that?
Okay, make it public. Who is stopping you? Who is stopping you? Nobody is stopping you.
That is the opposition.
Just because you have listen to me. Just because you have a movie, just because there are some projects to be launched, and you want the debates to be on the movie.
Okay, Satyanan, very quickly, 30 seconds. Just because there's a movie coming in, this is the set of arguments coming in. And also, it's a fact that Akbar abolished jizya. He also brought in an inclusive faith, Din-e-Ilahi. Satyanan.
Removed jizya is not a big thing that he has done, because he has also done so many
Why
other
not? When
things
other rulers, your complaint is that they have jizya, why is this not a big thing?
No. Why I'm saying is that just conversion is increased. During Akbar's time also conversion is there. It's not that. See, what has happened is how the invasion has happened in this country. All invaders of this country for 1,000 years, 800 years, Muslims or 200 years British, all are invaders. Yes or no? There are invaders, and some invaders. Why the invaders have come? Because somebody opened the back door. So that's what has happened in India because of some sort of misunderstanding or rivalry between brothers or some kings. They have allowed these people to come, whether it is Islam or British.
Okay. So in 10 seconds, we're out of time. Quickly, please. 10 seconds.
These people say that they don't glorify these butchers and invaders. What was Rahul Gandhi's urgency to rush to the tomb of Babur in Kabul the moment he becomes a member of parliament in 2004? Can you explain that? Has he till date visited the Ram temple in Ayodhya? So
all
these
right, we'll have to leave it there. Tuin Sinha, Advocate Umar Junaidi, Nikhil Jain and Boli Sethi Satyanarayana, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Certainly a subject of much political debate. What will come out of this remains to be seen at a time when there are, of course, charges of saffronization. Are those charges accurate, or is this just more as far as politics is concerned? We'll continue to debate this story. We'll continue to report on it. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.
The News Hour